Well, hey there, everyone. I'm Richard, and this is Cowboy Survival. When you go out to the woods, you take your knife, you take it with you, you cut things up, you cut into wood, you cut into food, you're going to end up with a knife that's pretty dirty at the end. And this is the knife, if you remember a couple weeks ago, I was working with some fatwood, and this knife got pretty dirty. And I'm going to show you some close-ups of this. It got a lot of pine pitch on it, it got dirt on it, it got some of the shavings on it. We just need to clean this knife pretty well. Now, the first rule of cleaning a knife is clean your knife. You've been out in the woods, you've got your knife dirty. You need to remember when you go back home, take that knife out, and we want you to clean it really well. Then make sure it's good and dry before you put it up for storage. So with that, let's go see how I'm going to clean this knife. So the truth is, cleaning your bushcraft knife is really not much more different than cleaning a knife in your kitchen. You might have carbon blades that you cook with, you prepare food with, and most of the time you clean those with soap and water, and this is really no different. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use some Dawn detergent and some water to clean most of the gunk off of this knife. So I'm going to need a couple things. I'm going to need some water. I've got some Dawn detergent here with me, and I'm going to need a cloth. Now I'm not going to actually put the knife in the water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the cloth wet. And once I get the cloth good and wet, I'm going to put some soap on the cloth and then use it to clean the knife. Now I'm going to clean one side first, and then we're going to clean the other. But I want to clean one side up really well so I can show you the difference that it makes. So I'm just going to put a little bit of soap on this rag. Don't put a lot, don't need a lot. Rub it in a little bit. Now I got a soapy rag. I can start cleaning this knife. And again, you can see I've got two dirty sides. I'm going to work on this side first. So I'm just going to start cleaning this knife and rubbing it. I got some pine on there. That's going to have to take a little bit more rubbing, I think, than normal. You want to be careful to keep your finger away from the blade, because if you don't, you can very easily cut yourself, especially if your knife is sharp the way it's supposed to be. Continue. So I'm going to, when I get close to the blade, I'm going to move away from the blade like this. Up here I can clean it pretty hard. Down there I'm going to get close to that blade. I'm going to be pushing this soap off that onto that blade. So now I can simply take the other side of this cloth, wet it. I'm going to get that soap off of there. Then you'll take a dry towel. I've got a dry towel over here. I'm going to clean that. Now it already looks better, but I've still got this stuff here I got to get off, and hopefully I'll be able to get that off with my acetone. So that already looks better, and what I'm going to do next is I am going to take this, I'm going to clean the other side. We'll clean this side. This side's the side that's really dirty. I'll actually switch hands so you can see this a little better. It's really dirty right in here. If you need to, you can move the water aside, put this down on the table so that you can rub it a little harder. And then take this side of the rag. I'm going to sort of get some of that off of there. Take my dry rag and we'll get the dry off of there. So that knife now looks significantly better than it did to start with, just by using some old-fashioned soap and water. But I still might want to get it a little clean, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the acetone. So what I have here is just some plain old acetone. It's really good for cleaning all kinds of things, particularly cleaning off knife blades. The thing about this is that it's a little bit solvent, so if you've got a finish on your blade, some kind of a coating or something, it's liable to take that coating off if you use too much. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use another clean rag, and I'm going to take a little bit of this, I'm going to pour it on my rag, and get a little bit on my rag, and then just start rubbing it on my knife. And it's going to dry almost as soon as I put it on there. And you can see it's getting that knife significantly cleaner than it was. And just keep applying more as you need to. You see it's on there, and boy, it dries almost immediately. Over this side. See how clean that knife is now? I got all this stuff off of here. I got all the stuff off of there, the sap and stuff that was burned onto there I got off. Now just for a little added protection on the blade, since I am going to be storing this for a while, I don't know the next time I'll get out. Maybe it'll be next week, maybe it'll be 3 or 4 weeks. I'm going to put just a little bit of oil on this. Now I'm going to use cooking oil. There's no reason you can't use any kind of other oil. You can use, kind of, gun oil or knife oil or something. I use cooking oil because I want something that's food safe, and I want something that's not going to damage me when I try to use this on my food. Now I'm just going to put a very light coat of it on there. I'll put it on the other side as well. So I've got just a little light coat of oil in there, and then what I'm going to do is take a final dry rag, and I'm going to wipe that off of there, any excess. That's enough. That little bit of oil I put on there is just enough to protect it from rusting. And so we'll put that on there, and that knife is now ready to go in the sheath and ready for storage. Cleaning a knife blade is not really hard. As we've shown, a little soap and water, a little bit of acetone if it's needed, if you have something that's really sticky or something that's a problem on the knife. If you have a little rust, you can always use something like Bartender's Secret, or you can use something like a rust eraser, or you can just use a little bit of really fine steel wool. Now, if you use steel wool, remember, you could take off some of the finish that's on that knife. So if it's got a coating on it, you probably don't want to use the steel wool. If it doesn't have coating, if it's just a blade like mine is, you could use that. Always go in the same direction so your scratches don't look all random and all, but do that. And then if you use the steel wool or use the Bartender's Secret or anything else, make sure and seal it afterwards with either some oil, you may want to blue it or something like that. But the reality is, cleaning your blade is something that you need to do. Blade maintenance is not an option. It's also not something that you should view as a problem. It's something you do every time you go out in the woods. You come back, take that blade out of its sheath, take a look at it. If it needs to be cleaned, clean it. Go ahead and do it right then. Make sure it's good dry before you put it away. Put it back in the sheath and put it away for the next time you're going to need it. And when you pull it out, it's going to be in good shape, it's going to be clean, and it's going to be ready for you to use. Hopefully that was helpful. We'll see you again real soon here on Cowboy Survival. In the meantime, remember, stay strong, stay prepared, and have a blessed day.